one more reading for today. Well, we're already into Wednesday. I guess I'm doing the first reading of the day. Aware and beware. I got up early today. And I'm on the East Coast, so it's been a long enough day that today feels like 3 days. Of course, I did spend today doing 3 distinct things. Has it been a successful day? Well, I feel like I got a little momentum done on a little bit of everything. I wanted to come on here and share a message, an aware or beware message. Also, if anybody has any questions, I am ready to take yours if you want to go and donate. Doesn't really matter the amount. Pull one card or a few, depending on what you donate. I think everything is all in one. Is it? No, not quite. Anyway, I have the moon cards up. Let's go and see. My cat is already protesting that he's not the center of attention. The only time he's really quiet is when he's in your arms. Of course, it doesn't have to be my arms, right? It could be the other Siamese. He just wants attention. That's all he's asking for is attention. And that is all. This card got a little frayed. I'm wondering if I have. I guess I don't. I feel like I'm losing some things around here. Like I did a reading earlier and I can't find the bottom of this deck, like the container. Oh, I see it now, actually. Never mind. I guess I'm just not looking clearly enough. Here we go. It's like the story of my day today. Everything's been right in front of my face within arm's reach, which is good. Okay. I'm not going to use this deck for this reading, but I love this deck. This is my latest deck. I am going to get the Raven deck and the Skeleton deck next, but all in good time. And maybe another cat deck. Oh, you know what I saw it too in my local tarot store, or my local so-called occult store? I saw a Robin Wood deck, and when I was really, really little, there was a tarot reader who covered a circuit with my mother, and he used the Robin Wood deck. I haven't seen that. I was really, really little. And of course, everyone that was associated with my family told me the same thing. Oh, you can't touch these. You're too little. I can't read for you. You're too little. But I looked at that deck. I think I want the Robin Wood deck too, now that I see that. I'm actually not always crazy about the Robin Wood deck because like some decks that are like overly, I don't know, kind of, skewed. Like for instance, I've seen that I forgot what it's called, but there's like a female-centered deck, and I think that's like a little too heavy. Like when the emphasis is too much on one thing, that kind of bothers me. I like ones that are more ambiguous. But the Robin Wood deck, I think I just want for nostalgia. course, maybe you can already tell what my zodiac component is since I said that. But anyway, all right. As I said, I want to go and do an aware and beware message. Before I get started, would you like me to go and pull for you? Let me know if you do. It could be a small pull, it can be a larger pull. Let me know. You can look in the description and make a donation. In the meantime, I'm going to get started. Let's just go and gently sound the tingshas. Where I am, a new day is already beginning. Wednesday, February 5th. Of course, I'm not really seeing this as timely. I'm just seeing this as whatever needs to come out. All right. Early. I'm not going to keep this as a main message. Toxic. Okay. So I have dark. Nasty. Okay, so I guess the first one is to know that something about timing. I have a timing card of early and toxic soulmate. Not quite what I was expecting, but I wasn't really. I didn't think this would come out. So there you go. Toxic soulmate. Not all soulmates are pure. Of course, I met a couple years ago 3 people who I knew we had soul bonds, past life, etc. And I can say each one of them were toxic. It was something like an 85 or a 95-year-old woman and 2 guys in their 20s. So toxic soulmates do appear, do exist. All ages, all genders, all situations. Oops. Just want that up. Okay. So a toxic soulmate early, and I have the moon. Well, if you ask me with that moon, it's probably the emotionality and the pull of what should you go for, what shouldn't you go for. Hi, Raymond. Yes, you can buy a question. Donate through either Buy Me a Coffee or Cash App. The details to that is in the description. And let me know when you've done so and we can start. Make a donation if you would, if you please do. And take a look at your question, Raymond. Especially with it being a new month, new energies. We still have that planetary parade going through. The alignment of Venus, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter. What was the other one? Uranus. There were 6. I know Mercury was supposed to join it as a 7th planet. What are the 6 planets? Venus, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter. Could have been Uranus and Neptune. I kind of Maybe it was. Anyway, Raymond, yes, you can donate. I can even put my little donate sign. There we go. Yes, you can donate. That would be beautiful. I can go and spend it on my cat food and my kitty litter, or I could get some tea for myself, all greatly appreciated. Could also spend it on getting some new cards. I've had these cards, these specific cards. I think since this summer. And then the ones from the first half of Mystic Moons are here. You can sort of see the patina of them. It's getting there, right? I had plans for these cards. I would almost use these cards for this deck, but this is actually something happened with this deck. So I don't use it anymore for public ones. Not anything bad, just something interesting. So I leave it. I've retired that. But anyway, Raymond, yes, you can donate. Anyone can donate if you'd like. In the meantime, for the moon and toxic soulmate, so we already passed the new moon. That was the 29th. I believe the full moon will be coming up next week. Just thinking about this early timing card together with the moon as well. Could have here someone with strong Pisces energy. Could also be Gemini energy. Could have fire energy, or just somebody who is active, someone who exercises, someone who moves around a lot, someone with a lot of fire in their chart, someone who's very warm. Maybe their hands are always warm, they're not cold. Their circulation system, if you touch them, they're warm. Definitely warm. So, with this, another clue of the person we're talking about could be in the year of the sheep. Go and check out the Chinese New Year's, just like we're in the year of the snake. Could either be something that happened in the year of the sheep, could be somebody born in the year of the sheep, could be somebody who likes to follow the crowd too. Could be someone who has very basic needs when you get down to it. They don't buckle the system. Let's see what else. One more. I got two. Enemy and silver spoon. So are you meeting? You could meet. I don't know, what do I have this ghost here for, though? So I would say it's actually up in the air, and it can be up in the air with the moon card here. Perhaps someone who you already met who ghosted you, a toxic soulmate. I would say then, looking again to it, this toxic soulmate, not really the moon phases here, but more like, I actually believe that when some people say, oh, that wasn't your soulmate, that was a karmic, or you have one soulmate, I actually believe that we have multiple soulmates and soulmates of all kinds. I think it comes down to how you're mature, your level of maturity, their level of maturity, what you're looking for, what you're prepared for, and likewise for them. I think it all comes down to timing, responsibility, maturity, empathy, things like that. And either for some of you, you already met your soulmate and the soulmate could be coming back, or you can meet your soulmate a little too early. Regardless, this toxic soulmate is someone that you met far too early. And actually, I would say in this sort of energy with toxic soulmate, ghost, abusive, enemy, I would say that this early just refers to this lifetime. You're not supposed to meet this person. You're not supposed to deal with this person. This person is best left alone in this entire lifetime, maybe the next lifetime too. Far too early. It doesn't feel like early in terms of timing, like this year or last year or 5 years ago or 5 years to come. It just feels like literally whatever your name is right now and whatever their name is right now and whenever they were born and whenever you were born, and how apple trees grow and fish swim in the sky, in the sea, like all those things, too early. Like life in general that we're living and breathing is too early to deal with this person. This is a no person. Anyway, yeah, it's very strong fire. And it's funny that with fire, it's also a characteristic of sheep as well. Person could have strong Mars, maybe Pisces and Mars too. This person is doing well for themselves. Well enough. Anyway, that's a warning. I'm going to pull another message since why end the night on, or the morning on toxic soulmate that you dealt with far too early. All right, let's go and get another message. May actually retire some of these stones. I don't need them all here. This is my favorite stone. This one. I got it from the river. This river looks a lot like actually the artwork that I do. The sculptures that I do. The sculptures that I work on. They have this sort of aesthetic. And I found this not really in the shallows. It was probably maybe 2 feet or so in the water. And it was odd, right where I got this So around the parts where I take my meditation moments, the nature ones, I saw a stone spirit. I saw something gray and large. And it saw that I was seeing it. It was neutral. Anyway, but yes, that's the story behind this stone. I love ordinary objects. I think that the ordinary objects are just as powerful as the so-called, I don't know, semi-precious stones, the crystals. I think they have just as much stories to share and just as much spirits inside of them as the objects that obviously sparkle. I think they sparkle in their own way. I feel they sparkle in their own way. My potatoes are potatoing. My potatoes that I was going to eat decided to become more than just my meal. They decided to become a colony of potatoes. What can I do? I have life on my hands, lifing. Anyway, let's get another message now that we have lifing. Money. I have money. Let's see. Selfish. Okay. Piece of poopy. Pushy. Is this someone who's going to give you money? Someone who you'd be working with? Someone who you'd be working with? Do some of you need money? Well, help is coming. For some of you who need money, help is coming. Help in the form of a job, or maybe somebody will just lay money on you, but that person, will they know that you're in a dire position, or are they just a piece of poopy in general? Either way, somebody's going to see it in their interest. Somebody out there, somebody who is watching this, someone's going to see you in their interest to help out with some money. Although they're selfish, you're going to get some help. You're going to get some money from a person who's going to make you work for it emotionally. I'm going to deal with that and go, ugh. But you'll get some money in your hands for some of you. I'm not going to go any further into that because that's the gist of that. I don't know whether that's someone who you work with currently, or this is going to be a job that comes up, or a side gig, or a friend, or a family member, but somebody not that great is going to put you through some head trips and give you some money. Let's get another message. Tiger. So for some of you, you could be born in the year of the tiger. What is that? 98? Could be the year of the tiger. When was the year of the tiger? Was it? I don't know my Chinese zodiac years, but could be born in the year of the tiger. Could be referring to an event that happened in the year of the tiger or will happen in the year of the tiger. So, also too, this is like a very specific placement, right? If it's not the year, if it's not a person, like actually with those literal characteristics of birth year or who you met during the year of the tiger. Also think to the temperament of a tiger. When I think of temperament or when I feel of tiger, when I feel of the temperament of a tiger, I think of someone who stalks before, very watchful, right? They stalk before they act. They try to be as exact as possible. They are very calm. I don't really see someone in this sort of demeanor as someone who would lash out or lash out stupidly. They'd sooner keep quiet or fall back into the darkness rather than have confrontation, because when they have confrontation, then it's an all-out bloodbath. But with tiger and the power, and also too that consideration, that weighing, that strategic, should I move and for what gain? This is not a person who puts out their energy rashly or stupidly. There was something else I want to say about this tiger energy. If this is a person, feels like you may, or let's say the characteristics. Well, I definitely think as well, this is a person who attracts attention. Kind of no matter where this person is, this person attracts attention, may not be open to conversation, could be, could not be. This person definitely has an aura, though, when they're reserved. They attract attention. So, tiger. Kind of tiger. I got a POS again, a piece of poopy, a caring piece of poopy. That caring just slipped out. I'm going to pull one more. Ashamed. Someone ashamed. Is somebody perhaps born in the year of a tiger? Perhaps someone who you met in the year of a tiger. Ashamed. I don't have this as present tense. I do have a past tense. Someone who imagines themselves to be much. They look in the mirror and they think that they are a certain type of person, certain type of presence, certain type of demeanor they cultivate. But this person did not act according to the demeanor they cultivated with someone or some of you out there. Someone with those characteristics that I just mentioned is ashamed of their actions. Now it almost feels like they care that you think of them as a piece of shit. I am going to say that in this energy, because that's how they acted, and they realize it. They realized they were shitty. Excuse my language, but I'm going to call it as I see it here. Is there any need to go into this anything more? Somebody knows that you saw them and they acted towards you crappy. And I think they still care about the fact that they were such an, I feel like saying another expletive, but I'm going to restrain myself. They were such an anus. Okay, we'll say that. We'll use the proper terms. This person knows that they are literally lower than the skin you scrape off the soles of your shoe or your feet. You know that dead skin stuff? Maybe use one of those, automatic foot grinder things. Maybe you use a grater. Maybe you use a pumice stone. Maybe you don't do anything to your feet, right? Whatever. Anyway, this person knows that they are lower than the skin debris that you scrape off the heels of your foot. I don't really feel like pulling anything more on this, but maybe I'll pull one tarot card. Just because we have tiger, although I think that's pretty descriptive of who we're talking about, someone whose value, whose soul value, I'm even going to go there and put a price on their soul, whose soul value is lower than a discarded hangnail. Since we're in body parts we no longer need, right? Our body functions we no longer need. Yeah, this person is lousy. But I'm going to pull one tarot card on there. So I have a reversed 10, which is odd. Normally I don't have reverses. Oh my goodness. I don't have reverses, but I have a reversed 10 of Swords. Okay. I was actually doing this to get more information. Of course, Ten of Swords is Sagittarius. I think Tiger is fire, isn't it? I don't know. Look it up. I mean, some of you are online, right? Because that's how you're watching this. Go and look it up and let me know. What element is Tiger? Surely it can't be metal. Could it be wood? I'm curious. I don't have that memorized. But what I do know here is with that 10 of Wands here for extra information. So somebody with tiger qualities or born in the year of the tiger, or you met this person in the year of the tiger, that person acted worse than a doggy bag, those blue doggy bags that you see, people just throw them off into the yard or by the side of a building. Yeah, that has more valuable, more worthwhile things in it than this person. And they know it. They know that they literally are worse than doggy do. And they care about it. So this person with a lot of ego, this is almost getting a little funny now. This person with a lot of ego, this person with tiger qualities, they care that that they are a piece of doggy poo. And they are, for some reason, now they are ashamed. They're going to take some sort of action about this. You could go and get an apology actually from this piece of poopy that could care less. Is this person that goes around with bravado? I'm fabulous. All eyes are on me, and I got this great persona. But they actually care that you saw them, that what how lousy they are. They're going to do something about it. 10 of Wands reversed. They're now ready to do something about it. And I don't really feel like pulling anything more on this, although it's getting now a little humorous. But what I will say, let me say this to those of you who this resonates with, as I said, think tiger qualities. Born in the year of the tiger, or again, year of the tiger. This person anyway is someone who attracts attention, although they may not openly engage with the attention that they generate. This person is going to come to reveal or come to perhaps give you an apology or something, but know that they're doing it to they want to relieve their own sense of guilt. They're not doing it for you, obviously, because they're a piece of poopy. They're doing it for themselves. So do you want to give them, no, I'm not being negative or anything, but I'm just seriously asking, do you want to give this person the self-satisfaction of doing whatever apology just to make themselves feel better? Because this person could catch you off guard or unaware. Maybe you could have a heart-to-heart conversation. Maybe. In this energy, or at least an apology. But that apology is all just so that this person can move this embarrassment Also, too, it's kind of like who they really are, who they degenerate or who they degrade into every so often. Because, I mean, this isn't like a one-time occurrence. This is a person who appears stellar, but they do lousy things from time to time, and they did a really lousy thing with you. And all they want to do essentially is just relieve their own sense of guilt, their own burden. Oh, I did that, but you know what? I owned up to it. But is this person in this energy really owning up to it? I say they're doing it for their own self satisfaction so that they can put the embarrassment, the distaste of that situation they had to rest and alleviate their own self guilt. And if you listen to that person, well, then I applaud you, the angel that you are. You know, there are soup kitchens and food kitchens and homeless shelters and pet shelters and rivers and stuff like that, where you can do plenty of community service with people who would appreciate people, creatures, etc., that would appreciate your time. And they didn't do you dirty to start with. Just throwing that out there if you want to go and open up your heart, open up your time and energy to someone. There could be better ways of doing it with better people. I don't like those messages. Shall we get one more? But I think that, as I said, that's the main thing to know. Someone's going to come, but it's for their own self-gratification so they can push it behind them. But, you know, let me say again, that person with piece of poopy there, that's just like how they actually still are, how they were then, how they are now. That person is trying to match what the persona, they're trying to match the persona they project, but in some circumstances, or perhaps with certain people where they feel you authentically are what they are trying to be. Coachy, stop that. Come on, Coachy. No. You just sit here too. I turn my head and I have cats doing things. That's right. She says, I'll do my thing here. Okay, that's fair. Okay, just sit down. Oh, look, she's like, I should make this a cat short. This is Queequee. Yes. I have 4 cats, but 2 of them I consider to be kind of mine, and I consider this one to be mine. Anyway, let's go off into another message now that I have my Queequee here. She's like, you're talking about me. Yes, I am talking about her. Do you know that calicos, mostly, usually, like 99% of the time, are all little girls? Just like orange toms or orange cats are all typically male. She's a little girl. She's got a little face. She's very pliable. Although she's very pliable with me. When she's happy, she's happy. When she's sad, she kind of hisses and growls. But because she's my cat, I can pick her up and whatnot, even if she's hissing and growling, and she just accepts it. But she talks a lot. They all talk a lot. Anyway, enough about my cat. But we are having her up here so that she doesn't do the bad or any bad behind my back. And she blesses my cards. Well, I appreciate that. My cards get worn just simply because a cat steps on them. And then they get crunched, folded. They get a distortion in them. But they're just adding their goodness, they say. Anyway, now that we have such a muse here joining, let's get another message. You want to do these two? Just going to think about it. Such a good girl. Anyway. So, let's go and get another message here. No, you're not going anywhere. You're just going to sit. She thinks I can go somewhere. Oh, one more thing about my cat. You see her nose? You see how her nose has that little mark right there? Because she likes to do everything that I do together. When I design clothes and I sew, I iron all the time. And when she was a little kitten, she sniffed my iron and she burned her nose. And it took 6 months or so for that to heal because her nose, kept on getting wet and then she kept on moving it and it was raw. And that's like when she was very, very little, she burned her little girl nose on the iron. That must have hurt so much. And it happened in just an instant, too. She was so careless around the iron, and then that happened, and she still is around my sewing, but she stays away from the iron. My other cats don't stay away from the iron, though, so frustrations upon frustrations. But anyway, now let's go and get into another message. Of course, if anybody would like to donate for a reading or a pull, it can be a short pull, a longer pull, it's up to you. You can please do as I tell people, everything is expensive in New York. And I go through a lot of cat food. I go through a lot of kitty litter. All right. Let's see another message. I have thoughtful. Kwee Chan says it's a good card. He says it's good to be thoughtful. He says it's really good to be thoughtful. Okay, but we're going to stop this love affair with being thoughtful. I'm going to get another card. Just one more from this pile. And let's get another card here. She's all like, all the cards are good. Well, that's nice. I'm glad that she thinks all the cards are worthy of putting her mark of ownership on it. And do one more here. Let's do that. So I have weak. I have back of the deck timing cards of summer, popular, and grudge. Those were that. I have sneaky, SOS, and weak. Do you have a grudge against someone who did something in the summer? With these bottom of the deck energies over here. Greed, runner, praiseworthy. Someone went after something they thought would get them further. Perhaps they wonder if you hold a grudge. We'll see. Although my table's space has been cut down with this thing here, but we'll see. But I have someone who's thoughtful here also too with that bottom of the deck energy of summer. If I can move this. Yes, 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 yes. I have metal. I have stingy. And I have snake. No, sweetheart snake. Smart. Well, those are sweet cards right here. Snake could be someone born in the year of the snake. Also, too, this is the year of the snake. And metal. The characteristics. It could be westward. Elements of the rooster, monkey, dog. Element of air. Someone's willpower. Also thought. Interesting that it has thought when, if I can get this out. Our main message here is thought. Okay, you know what? You could just go back. I want me back. What, you want it? Okay, okay. What? She says, this is just Quickly Chan's hour. Yes, I'm cute. Well, she is cute. Everything this cat does to me is cute. I am smitten with this cat. I think I even got a reading once asking if this is my soulmate. I got it from two people. I was like, first person said no. I'm like, you must be wrong. I'm going to go and get a reading from someone else. Both people said that she wasn't my soulmate. I kind of don't. I side-eye that. How can this not be my soulmate? Seriously, how can she not? Also, the way I found her outside. And when I found her, she was a little kitten, but she had a bunch of problems with her. Her eyes were like guppy eyes, and she had snot in her nose. And she was very skinny. She was little. And yet she was dancing. It felt like she was dancing. She was prancing around a bunch of tires. Tires, spider webs, and garbage. But she was dancing like a little fairy. And I thought, oh my God, that's a crime. It's a crime against all that's good in the world for something so beautiful. She was having fun with some bugs to be in the midst of such filth. So I picked her up. I had to go and put my, I don't know, I went in a bunch of junk, like old car junk and bushes, and there were spiders and there was garbage, and it smelled like people had made that area their potty area. I mean, it was gross. And I'm not the type to go into areas like that, but I went without a second step. I was like, oh, this is a crime, and who cares about the spiders? I'm just reaching in there, spider webs and all. And that's how I got her. I didn't even think about it. I picked her up like she was a flower. I said, that's not right. So I'm going to bring her back so I have another mouth to feed. Which I'm glad that she did, because my Siamese are so demanding that I'm glad that I have a domestic, because she's actually, I mean, my Siamese are sweet, but they're demanding, like everything's on their terms. This one is not that way. She's very relaxing, actually. Is this all? You can sit. Yes, you sit. You can sit. All right. No, I have not. Hi, Robin. And hello, Vana. I have not seen the cat language app, but I'm pretty sure that my cats, the majority of them are saying things like, pay attention to me. My Siamese, he threatens me like he's there going, I'm going to do the bad. I'm going to do the bad over here. If you don't come here, I'm going to do the bad. And then he does the bad. I did the bad. Aren't you going to come and look and see what bad I did? I mean, he literally says that. And I'm sure it's all like, pay attention to me. I'm going to go potty. The litter is dirty. I'm hungry. Um, my perch is taken up by somebody else. How come she gets it or he gets it and I don't? Yeah, I'm sure it's all things like that, like things that I'll be glad that they're just doing meows. I don't need someone saying, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Or in my Siamese's case, screaming because I'm not paying attention to him. He'd probably be there saying, I'm so lonely, right? That's probably what he's doing. But he's just overreacting. But maybe they all overreact in their own ways. Is it 3 a.m. already? Oh, I should probably go to sleep soon because I do have to get up early. Anyway, let's go and finish up this thought. Yeah, they get up. Well, my cats get up every 2 to 3 hours. What, you want to go somewhere now? You gonna go over there? Well, go on. You can go over there. It's okay. You can go over there. Go up. Go on. Okay. I don't know if you could hear all that. Yeah, I have. I think I know a good portion of the meow types that they do. I don't know. It's interesting because some of my cats are like guard cats. And some of them are just purely, I don't know, like the babies, right? They don't really do anything. Her job actually is mousing, though. There's a video that I have of her on my channel of her watching a rat video on YouTube, and she likes watching the mouse videos and the rat videos on YouTube, and that's in fact how she learned how to mouse or be hunt rats, mice, etc. And it's funny, I take her out, like she is leash trained. I take her out for walks and things like that. She goes on my shoulder. And I've shown her through the videos Canadian geese and deer and dogs and everything. And when she sees that, she pays attention to everything. But then when she sees it in real life, oh, she's so cute. She's like, oh, I recognize that. I learned. I know all about that. And we spent a lot of time with Canadian geese. Yes. And thank you, Robin. As I said, when I do this on the phone, it like automatically flags is I can't even hit to show because it says another moderator already handled it, but there's no moderator. It just obviously is some AI glitch. Well, not an AI glitch. It's probably just a legacy glitch, most likely. I'm sure that YouTube has tons of development debt. Oh, that's really cool. That takes a lot of heart and a lot of dedication to do rehab. When I did the kitty cat rescuing briefly, I realized I could not do it. I also realized if I continued doing it, I'd be there with like 90 cats, maybe like 20 dogs, maybe 10 possums, right? I'd be there with like everything. No, that would not be good. Kochi. Come on, Kochi. Come on, Kochi. No. You go in the cubby. Oh, wonderful, Robin. I look forward to our reading. Yeah, and I know what it means, as I mentioned before, when your those finance issues that come up. As I mentioned before, my accounts got frozen due to employment fraud for a while. Oh, very nice. Yeah, it's funny how they always say like to say that cats aren't social creatures when you can even look at how they gravitate towards the colonies and the hierarchy that they have there, the adoption, the dynamics. That's wonderful that you keep little bellies full. One moment, I'll be back in 1 second. Okay. But that. Once I moved, actually, I didn't move. Once I gave my credit card information, I gave authorization for a family member who was moving to put a down payment or like, a reserve price or something. And I think it was only like $200 or something like that for a moving company. And then that moving company went and took out of my credit card something like $5,000 without telling me. And I was in another state and I went to go and see them. I took a trip to go and see them and they ran away from me. And the card company would not refund my money. I guess I have to go to court with it. It's so weird, those I don't know, I guess is giving out your details automatically. Yeah. And they said that because it was a family member that it was the same thing as the services being rendered, but I didn't give authorization for that. It wasn't my move. Also, too, what happened was in dispute as well. There were some other details. But no, they just ran my credit card, didn't give me a receipt, didn't tell me anything about it, ran away from me. They also kept the keys. It was just crazy. But anyway. And then the same year, my credit card information got, as I said, I had employment fraud. I was interviewing with someone, and I work so often with overseas people that I didn't really think anything of the accents that I was speaking with. I was there like, oh, typical, like usually everyone that I work with is from a certain area, or a good portion of the people I work with. But yeah, I got like employment fraud when they were giving me the onboarding paperwork for my banking. I know, to do that for all things like employment. And I actually went and gave notice to the job I was working at that time too. So it was rather unpleasant. But anyway, things like that happen. Be aware of employment fraud. And the thing is, I work so much with small companies, startups, and things of that nature that there isn't that much of a paper trail. The teams are rather small. So yeah, with that company or that scam scheme, I just completely got taken in because normally I work with small companies or startups. I work with people that are overseas. And when they were onboarding me, I just didn't think anything of it. But anyway. That job was started from applying to Indeed.com. And then I noticed afterwards that Indeed has like a whole bunch of employment frauds going on there. That was in 2003. And I stopped 2023, if I didn't say that. Yeah. So, I don't really recommend looking at anything from Indeed at all, or even all of them. I saw employment frauds after I began noticing certain things about how they posted and things like that. Just going directly to the companies and seeing what's there. But those job aggregate systems are really treacherous. It's good to be under a rock. I think it's good to be in hermit mode if you could, if it's sustainable. I've been dealing with a lot of people since the fall. And almost a little much. Usually in the work that I do it primarily remote, or I do hybrid with some travel, but I work primarily, in my own space, and I kind of like that. Ah, shadow work. Interesting. I think in 2003 I did a lot of shadow work. For me, my favorite type of, I don't know, therapy or actions is actually planting. I like gardening a lot. I like working with the soil. I like seeing things grow. I like taking care of plants. Before, I had 400 plants, all indoors and potted. Some were very big, because usually all the places that I was in had 8-foot ceilings or 12-foot ceilings. Vanna, tonight, well, what kind of question? If you want just a simple pull, you can do 15. If you want a little bit more information, you can donate a little bit more. The way that I always say is that I go by cat food and kitty litter. So kitty litter is 15 and cat food is 30. Let me know, Vanna, if you would like to donate. And we can take a look into your question. Yeah, I just love plants. And I love seeing things grow. And I love the green, the various shades of green. For the indoor plants, I like how when you put them into the shower or in the kitchen sink and you wash them, how some of them have a specific smell. I do cook. I do like to cook. Sometimes when I cook a lot, I'm very good. And sometimes when I don't cook that often, I have a learning curve that I have to adjust. Like maybe 5 or 6 meals will be really, really bad, and then I'll snap up. When I was in the Hermitage in 2003, my service that I did there was in the kitchen. So I was a cook, a chef, whatever you want to call it. I would go and make things, but of course you make things with what's already in there. But I do cook vegan things. Thank you, Vanna. One moment. I'm back. Thank you, Vanna. I'm back. Thank you, Vanna. So, what is your question? And bye, Robin. Vanna, tell me your question. Okay. All right, Vana, let's go and take a look. Let's go and see. That's too much. I'm going to, let me just do a little bit of prep work real quick. I'm going to get a candle, let me light some incense, and I'm going to wash my hands, okay? So give me one moment just while I do a little bit of prep work for this. I'll be back in a second. Okay, 1 second. And that's enough incense. Put that instead. And give me a moment longer and then we'll start. All right. Let that sound out. All right, we'll begin. So I'm going to use another deck. Use this deck. All right. Let's go and see why would he stand you up after chasing you, hassling you, making sure you thought of him. You couldn't ignore him, couldn't forget about him for 2 years. And why he would stand you up. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands by Ace of Pentacles. So first of all, let me say, he didn't want you moving on, number one. We're going to dig further down into this, but I'm just going to tell you the messages that I'm getting as I'm getting them. Okay? So first of all, he did all that to get your attention and to make sure you were thinking about him. Also, too, he was trying to make sure that you could not move on. Ace of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Ten of Wands. He wanted to go and keep the connection and the burden to make sure that as you were off, perhaps doing your own enticing things, you would have a tether to him. With Queen of Wands, he didn't want you forgetting about him. He didn't want you moving on. He definitely was trying to go and control just your thought pattern. You can't quite move on so freely, so boldly, doing your own thing without considering me. So Queen of Wands with Death, Magician, and Page of Wands. Oh, this is a little interesting. Eight of Wands, World, Seven of Swords, Ace of Swords. First of all, there's a lot of movement in here. I wonder, first of all, in this movement, with why did he stand you up? Is he someone who travels around a lot? Or, like, in other words, was he around your same location? Like, I wonder, first of all, did he make these plans? Was he actually around in the neighborhood, or was he somewhere else, somewhere further away, somewhere much further away? I don't know. There's a lot of movement here. And it's like plans to meet up. I wonder if he was even. It's not even like traveling. It just feels like two opposite directions. But we're going to take a further peek in. But I think that's something also to think about. Was he making plans to meet up all the time, being somewhere further away? Like maybe another state, maybe the other side of the country, maybe down the country. It feels like there is some sort of distance. Could be emotional distance, but it feels like he was planning that and there already was a gulf there. So, Queen of Wands clarified by Death, the Magician, and Page of Wands. I'm going to have to clarify all of these because this is the effect that he wanted to go and have on you. And I think we're going to start with, let's take it one by one. We'll check out Death. Oh. Yes, because I already folded those cards back in. But I think that when he contacted you and he made those plans, I think he was already not nearby. And I also think, although I saw lots of movement there with the Eight of Wands and the World and whatever else was there, I think he made those plans with a big gulf already between you guys, like physical gulf. And I don't think he had any plans of, like, any serious plans or any determination to go and meet. Or maybe that was something that he toyed with, but I definitely think he made those plans being the other side of the country. Yeah, it just feels like there's a big gulf. And I think he made those plans with you knowing that there was a big gulf, a big effort to go and see you. And I would say that even that was kind of shaky of how much determination he had to actually take the effort to go. Right. So we're going to find out. We're definitely going to find out because that is, well, first of all, what I have here, I'm going to say this before I start clarifying: Death, Magician, and Page of Wands. So remember I said, first of all, with Queen of Wands, I feel, he wanted to go and sort of clamp or cramp your style. clamp or stomp. Let's say you're, I don't know, like when you're free and let's say like with this Queen of Wands energy, it's like I feel Queen of Wands in in her natural state is like a Fool's energy with an Ace of Wands energy. Like a Queen of Wands is very dynamic. Everywhere she steps, there's sparks. Everywhere she steps, she sees, she creates, she engages with opportunity. If she chooses to engage with it, if she chooses to even put forth that effort, like that's the magnetism of a Queen of Wands. And I would say that because your ex knows that you're someone that if you step into any situation, if you choose, I feel, Vana, if you choose to go and speak to anyone or just turn on your extroverted side, you can get very far with very interesting circumstances. I'll put it that way. Because there's such dynamicism in general with Queen of Wands energy, and the same with this energy. I feel like this is someone that you can pull, you can gravitate people and the situation and events towards you. Let's say, too, if you're in your 100% sort of on mode, charming mode, and he was probably paranoid and also wanting to still go and keep a tether before you're out completely free, seeing what opportunities are there. He wanted to go and keep you tied to the past. So Death, Magician, and Page of Wands. Well, Magician and Death is it's almost like trying to cheat a natural occurrence. And a natural occurrence in this case is the fact that you're separated. I mean, so that turned into a phase. The relationship you had turned into a timeline that has since passed. Something no longer fresh, but he was still trying to almost cheat that timeline and make it alive again. But let's go and check out Death in more detail. So, Death. I have Hangman, Ace of Wands. Okay. So first of all, I have to say with this is almost a little tacky energy. Yeah, this is almost a little tacky energy, this Death. Hangman, Ace of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Basically, you can't ignore me. Are you really ignoring me? I wonder during those 2 years that he called, again, surely you can't ignore me. You can't ignore me. You have to go and pay attention to me. I won't let you go. That's the whole idea of Death. This Hangman was just to go and get your attention. You can't ignore me. I will get a reaction and, I won't let you go. I will also say, too, in this energy, while he was doing that, it feels like there were other people that he was paying attention to as well. And maybe those people weren't giving him quite the attention he wanted. So therefore, he was there saying, well, feeling really, really lousy. Everybody ignores me. Everybody doesn't pay attention to me. Who will pay attention to me? Who can I get to go and pay attention? Well, I say, first of all, when he's contacting you because other things aren't going well. In Four of Pentacles, doesn't necessarily have to be his personal relationships. It could also be in work. Just life is not turning out the way it is, but it's not even so much life not turning out. It's not getting the respect, the opportunities, the motion, the movement that he feels that he needs in his life in general. So it's like a setback, regardless if it is a setback with people. I mean, I could take a look if you'd like on what exactly this Four of Pentacles is. But essentially what this is when he gets a setback in his life before, when he was contacting you for those 2 years, and I'm not doing this past present energy, this is just death energy that I have here of like, why did he do that? First of all, he didn't want to be ignored. And secondly, I feel like when he contacted you, it was because things were not going well in his life in general. Whether those were people, whether that was work, whether it was finances, something else. Whenever something didn't work out the way he wanted, and he felt overlooked. He has a lot of, as I said, doesn't like to be ignored. Ace of Wands. This is attention under death. Also, too, whoever gives him the most attention gives him the best attention. I mean, he just is like, he gets his value. Right. Well, he definitely gets his value, it feels like, from other people. And it's not so much like he has his value internally. It also feels like here, he gets his value. He does not grow or share his value. He gets his validation from others. And that's what I have here essentially. But let's go and find out. Go and take a little deeper look, and I'm going to use another deck as I clarify. Mainly because they're smaller. So, Four of Pentacles. I have the Defender, which is Emperor energy. But of course, it's also the root of 4, the numerical vibration of 4, stability. But it's also stability, achievement, a platform to be your own self, a platform in which you can expand upon 4 energy. Ten of Swords. And the Lovers. Okay. Well, definitely when he had failures and setbacks in his, could be his own masculinity, his own ability to provide, his own achievements. Could be his finances too. I mean, finances is definitely, how can you be a provider if you don't have money? But either way, he had setbacks in something that was intrinsic to his own masculinity. And it feels like those setbacks is probably a reoccurring theme in probably all of his relationships in general. So yeah, this Four of Pentacles is definitely when he has setbacks, but he's trying to hold on to what he can. Also, it still is validation in this energy. Like, even though things are going wrong, there are still people who care about him. It's almost too like a little naughty child or unconditional love. There's something in there too, like no matter what, you love me, right? You care about me. You care for me just because I'm me, even though what have I done to do that? Well, first of all, with death, he did that. Well, definitely he wanted to go, you're dynamic, so keep that in mind. He sees you as a very dynamic individual. Anywhere you go, if you turn on your extrovert switch, your charisma, your charm, you're going to get that attention. With death, first of all, he doesn't like to be ignored. Straight and simple. And when he has setbacks, he likes to know that there are people, there are someone like you, a dynamic individual who will go and take time out of their day to deal with him, despite the fact that things are not going well. And also, too, someone like you who will not ignore him. That's all it is. You won't ignore me. We still have a connection. He doesn't like to be ignored. So with Magician, let's take a look at Magician. Seven of Wands. Five of Pentacles. Ten of Cups. I'm going to clarify this Page of Wands before I look a little bit more into this Magician. Because with the Magician, well, first of all, let me say the Magician it's like the Queen of Wands is expensive. But it's like you're expensive emotionally. Like he's not prepared to give out what you would require in money and also what you require emotionally. And he knows that. He knows that, but he'd like to go and imagine that he could be with Magician. Well, let's go and see, Ivana. Definitely what I see here, he doesn't like to be ignored. I see that he likes to imagine him. There's something about imagination here with the Magician, 10 of Cups and 5 of Pentacles, the reality of what he can do against the fantasy of what he'd like. And yet the only thing he can do is sort of jumble things up and make a mess out of it. But even though he can jumble it up, he's there thinking, well, I still have the determination to do that. I can still make this work somehow. But ultimately, with 5 of Pentacles, he lacks the actual skill set or the actual tools or the resources. Something about that. It could be just emotional too, 10 of Cups. He still lacks the resources to provide the emotional connection that he knows you want and that he imagines he can do. Right. You know, it's also, I'm going to say this is a little weird or weird, odd, ironic, because with the 7 of Wands under Magician, well, first of all, you said that he's called you for 2 years and he stood you up. I'm going to see about this Page of Wands. But I feel, first of all, in this energy here, with this jump, like 7 of Wands is a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy. 5 of Pentacles is, of course, ignoring, ghosting, no energy, right? It's the opposite. But 7 of Wands here with 10 of Cups It's like he am under magician. I feel like first of all, we're going to see about Page of Wands. Well, I feel like with the Seven of Wands and the Magician, he definitely is going to contact you again. I'll continue to pull and let you know what I feel. But I feel like in here, because Seven of Wands is too erratic and it is strong energy. And what I have right now is strong energy that's jumbled and not focused, but he still has that energy. So I do think that with that jumbled energy, he's going to try his best to reach out again. And if you are, let me say, if you change the number under Magician, 10 of Cups, maybe he'd try and reach your family. Maybe he'd try and reach your friends. I don't know. He's going to try something, but I'm just saying that's a lot of energy, Seven of Wands, despite the Five of Pentacles. It's like, too, he's already put this much energy and investment into your connection. You're too shiny. You're too shiny and dynamic. Ivana. So that's also something else. Your magnetic pull, your soul's shine to his, the vibration, you dazzle him. So I don't think he would give that up, especially in this jumbled energy. Yeah, I mean, this is not immediate energy, but Seven of Wands is a whole lot of energy. This is not over. I don't see him, like, although he stood you up. But I'm going to go and see about the Page of Wands. But I feel, first of all, that that's the energy that I have here under Magician. So, there's a lot of energy. I feel like this energy isn't dissipated either. This energy is still here. I feel it's still active. And I just feel in general, and I still feel this is alive and well as well. He lacks the resources to provide what you want, but he still imagines he can do it. Even now, he imagines he can do it. But he jumbles things up. And it's interesting, too, that you say that he knows where you live. Five of Pentacles with 10 of Cups, because both of those are almost like, they could be location, right? 10 of Cups is home. Five of Pentacles is like an area you roam in, or an area that you are stuck in, right? But they're both locations. I would say he does know where your stomping grounds are. Let me check out the Page of Wands. What I think so far, okay, I think right now with the reading that I've done so far, I would say he 75% wanted your attention. And I would say the rest of it is that he just 75% he wanted your attention, 25% he wanted to work things out. I think that he just doesn't have, I do think he doesn't have the tools or the resources. And I don't really care in this energy whether it's financial or emotional. It could be both. It could be one or the other. But he's lacking in one of those severely enough for him to know that he can't work things out. I do think that when he planned to meet you, he was already very far away. And I think that he also, when he planned to meet you, wasn't definite on actually coming to see you in that location. Like, it would take effort. Was it worth the effort? I think that was something he toyed with, in the same energy that he's toying with, I want to provide the emotional connection, but am I can I do it? Right? Like, he does want to provide the emotional connection, but can he do it? Is he willing to do it? Is he willing to put the effort into it? Is he willing to put the organized effort into it? He imagines he can, but he can't. Whatever the Seven of Wands is too, it's like jumbled. And I think that's the same sort of energy as well about him coming to meet you. That same sort of energy. You're far away. He could go and take the trip to meet you, but it's effort. Is it worth the effort of him doing that? Is it worth the effort of him doing that at that time with his other things that were going on? He left this in a very in himself. In himself, he was very seesawing. Do I, don't I? But I would say too, it wasn't so much the effort of coming to see you. That wasn't it. It was the effort of meeting your expectations. Even if it was just for him, excuse me, for him to be heard out by you, he still knows that you have expectations, right? Expectations of him to at least say the right thing. Right. Yeah, I think that he imagines it, but I think his primary connection with you, and that's why I say it's not over. He's going to try and make it not over. His primary connection with you, Ivana, is just the attention. He wants to know that someone like you pays attention to someone like him. That's primary. Secondary is he'd like to make it work out, but it's, again, he'd like to work out, he'd like to meet you, but it's the reality versus what he's willing to put in the effort for to achieve the fantasy in his head. He ended up drinking. Yeah, let's go and check out the Page of Wands, because as I said, I have somebody with grandiose dreams, but not equipped to do anything. And then, let me see this one more time. Well, he definitely left you out in the cold. He definitely has been not treating you with respect or even the forefront of his attention. As I said, it's like Seven of Wands. He has all these other things in front of him, and he's just grabbing at the closest one. I don't know, it's chaotic, right? It's chaotic. And it's too like a lot of energy, but no direction. Let's check out Page of Wands. So Page of Wands, Star, Five of Swords, okay, so first of all, I'm going to say, Ivana, he did not stand you up to humble you. Okay, he didn't do that. I do think he doesn't want you to get far away from him, but I'm not getting humbling. I'm getting possessiveness, although I'm getting possessiveness in the fact that he just doesn't want you to move on from him, especially move on in a way that would cause you to cut him off in earnest, which of course you said you just changed your number. He doesn't want you to change your number. He doesn't want you to go and get married. He doesn't want you, Ivana, to change your last name. He doesn't want you to move to an entirely different area. He doesn't want you to cut off any ties that he could have to finding out where you are, what you're doing, and to hear your voice. Okay? He didn't do this to humble you. Page of Wands clarified by the Star, Five of Swords, Queen of Cups. He definitely likes your attention, though. Make no doubt of that. He definitely is agitated, I would say, Vana, about the idea of you moving on with your life and your life having no use for him, which he already realizes, Vana, although he'd like to. He has his imaginative state with a magician of, like, how he sees himself, how he imagines all the things that he can do, but he's also aware of the reality of what he can provide. And he's also, Vana, it's not about humbling, it's about overreaching. Your ex overreaches with you, and when you give him time. In fact, I probably also wonder in this energy, does he maybe feel like you're dealing with him because you pity him or something like that, and he could resent that. He didn't do that to humble you, but I also wonder, does he feel like you deal with him, you give him attention because you pity him, and that could be something that irritates him, but it's also, if it's so, it's a reason why you deal with him in the first place, and he'll accept that, because how else can he get your attention? Vana, he knows that you are far out of his league. And Vana, you are like, like a fantasy of, how sometimes, Vana, some people look at real estate listings and they look at the multi-million-dollar houses. And the houses that maybe have like the indoor pool, the outdoor pool, the whirlpool, the aviary, the walk-in aviary, the gardener's quarters or the gardener's house, right, etc., right? The estate, right, Vana? But I think that with him, he looks upon you as those multi-million-dollar real estate listings that have the palatial houses, and they have the stunning views, and they have the unique and unreplicatable features, whether that's in the architecture or the grounds or everything. And I think that he's just like, knowing you're out of his league, and contacting you is just like a fantasy of what he could have, but he knows that he never will. Yeah, he knows that you pity him. I think he resents that. It's not about him humbling you. It's about him being able to get your time. And with you spending your time, your attention on him, you're showing that you still care in a way, even if all he can do is drool over you in the same manner as looking at a multi-million-dollar real estate listing that he knows that he could never even take a walkthrough on. That's basically what this Page of Wands is. This is a gamble. I'm definitely going to say, Vana, if there's any mutual way that he can get in contact with you, in time, he will get in contact with you. Because he already knows that he's out of your league. He also knows that you pity him and you don't see him as a real man, or, a real provider, his masculinity. Remember that Four of Pentacles energy that we had here when we went into it. His masculinity is in question. And it feels like his masculinity is in question in a lot of things. And of course, he's not seeing the world straight. He doesn't have the confidence. He doesn't have the confidence to face reality with his own sober eyes. It is sad. I definitely think that people who who can't live life sober. And it doesn't matter whether it's alcoholism, whether it's drug use, but people who can't stand on their own 2 feet in their own energy and truly look at their own situation, the wins, the failures, the successes, the losses, and just accept that it comes with a part of life. I mean, without having the crutch, the crutch of something that feeds your ego, distorts reality. That's a sad thing. It is very sad. But no, definitely, Vana, he didn't do that to humble you. He did that for those reasons. I do feel very strongly, very, very strongly. I have like prickles in my scalp and whatnot. I feel very strongly he's not done with you. Like this connection in a little bit of time, because he has so much energy still towards your connection. And as I said, you are, just think about it, in the energy that I get of you, just how rich you are and how your future is I don't know, your future shines. He's seeing you like the multi-million-dollar real estate property. And he knows that that's something that he he could almost have, but he also can't pull it together. But no, you're welcome, Vana. Thank you for coming to me for this reading. Thank you for donating very much. I appreciate it. I very much do. And for allowing me to look into his energy and give you the what I see. And no, Vana, just in general, you are very beautiful. Your soul is very beautiful. Your energy is very beautiful. You're very dynamic, Vana. Know, Vana, that anything, as I said, any environment, any situation, any person, Vana, that you talk to, you turn on your extrovert switch and you go after, you're going to go and get a very positive reception wherever you go. Okay, know that as well. You very much shine in general, Vana. And as I said, I feel like the only thing that you need there is just it could be a situation, a group of people, it could be one person, it could be a room, an event. All you need to do is just be a little extroverted and you'll get a very warm reception. Thank you, Vana. Sending you lots of love. Have a good night and come by and say hi. Say hi when you want to, and definitely if you have any other questions, let me know. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. You too. Okay, if anyone else would like a reading, let me know. Otherwise, I think I'm also going to sign off until the next reading. which will be, later. But if anybody has any questions, let me know. If not, I am also going to head off to Sleepland. I have some more things to do tomorrow. Let's see. Put these back. Do one more as a thank you, as a blessing. And I am going to sign off. All right, have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.